Hey there, my Ashwings. It's a pleasure to see you. Welcome on in to another installment of the Silver Age A to Z series. Today, our hero is Betsy. Betsy is a guardian and has the ability to pay 2 whenever you wager an attack, and it will gain a +1 and overpower. Now, overpower not being as good as dominate in this scenario, I still think that Betsy can get away with a lot of things, especially with her headpiece, Good Time Chapeau. Good Time Chapeau is just a super awesome Temper 2 headpiece. Of course, every Guardian has a Temper 2 headpiece with cards like Civic Peak, but a Good Time Chapeau actually does a lot to be able to crack any gold that we make and give any of our attacks a wager ability to then pay another 2 resources to give them +1 and overpower. So gives us a way towards the ending game to kind of win stuff over. But a quick little rundown of the deck. Betsy's certainly not the best Guardian in the format, but she does do pretty well on her own, just being a Guardian, right? We do have, of course, the Good Time Chapeau. We're playing Richter Scale because we do want the Battle Worn 1, and sometimes we might even just want to make 2 Seismic Surge tokens. The Gauntlet of Boulder Hold. This is just because currently Goliath Gauntlet is not available in the Silver Age format, and so because of that, this is just kind of our way to kind of get around it. I don't think there's often times in which we have the resources to play all of that, but if it's available, right? Civic Steps, of course, allow us to block out pretty well in the foot piece area. So Civic Steps isn't a terrible thing to run, especially with a lot of aggro being in the meta. Giving Go Again isn't the end of the world, but they do block 3, which is really what you want to do when you're trying to save those resources in your hand to get your combo off. And of course, our weapons are Titan's Fist and Steel Braid Buckler as our shield. These are pretty standard Guardian things, so not a bad one here. But let's take a quick look at the deck. It's a pretty straightforward thing. You're blocking a lot. You have a lot of reactions, and, well, not a lot of reactions, but you're on Springboard Somersault for Sink Below-esque kind of things. I still think this might be better off being a Staunch Response, but I haven't done enough testing to confirm if I really want it to be or not. Just because the Staunch Response tends to, you pitch 2, blocks 5. This pitches for nothing, or I'm sorry, it pitches for 2, but it costs nothing, and it only comes in for 4 if it's from Arsenal. So it's a little bit more specific. If I wanted to get full value out of a big block, Springboard Somersault is definitely not the best way to go about doing it, and it also doesn't get through a lot of the powerful go tall decks, so I think I definitely need an answer for those whenever those come across. But anywho, we are running a red and blue Boulder Drop here. Boulder Drop just being one of the best, or one of really probably the best crush card in the entirety of the format. It simply just says crush, rip a card from their hand. Like they don't lose their card, but they do in fact lose their card, right? Because they're not going to be able to really draw it. It's going to work out better. So in that scenario, we have the Boulder Drops, Crush Confidence. It's just anything that's got this 3 up here and then a 7 is usually a great thing to add into any deck that cares about sending breakpoints or sending damage, because this is just an easy 2-card hand. So yeah, or like if you have a card in Arsenal and you have a blue in hand, you were able to block out, send those out. So much like that, we have Crush the Weak. This one makes it so a lot of these like low to the ground decks, like Fi or Benji or Katsu, don't get to utilize a lot of their attacks. Money Where Your Mouth is a pump here that allows us to actually put the keyword wager on any of our attacks, and we're wagering a gold with them. So if they win the wager, which is just, it means they don't take damage on the wagered attack, and they full block it, they get a gold. If we even get 1 point of value through, or 1 point of damage, I should say, we get a gold. And so we want to try getting the gold as much as possible. Of course, this is going to allow us to turn on Betsy's ability to pay 2 and then go ahead and send something. So paying a Money Where Your Mouth is, and then having 2 blues in hand, right? Pitching 1, 2 float. You then can play something like a Crush the Weak that costs 3. You'll have 2 more float to, whenever you wager this attack, you can use Betsy's ability to give this +1 and overpower, which means it will come in for a whopping 11 with overpower with the Money Where Your Mouth is. So it's kind of where you want to be. That's where when the stars line up, that's kind of where we're looking to be. So Not bad there. We, of course, are running Pummel. When we don't have a Betsy specialization, we also have Pummel. And so, or not a Betsy specialization. When we don't have a Betsy trigger, or we don't want to trigger Betsy, maybe we're not wagering anything, we can always send a Pummel. Pummel is just like super good. It's able to disrupt your opponent. I don't know why this card wasn't banned, but Pummel's in here still. We're also on Test of Might and Test of Strength. So both of these here block 4. You're probably going to win most of your clashes if you're going against any of these low to the ground heroes. Sometimes you might lose them. If you lose them, whatever, they get a might or they get a gold. Not the end of the world for them to have those things. We're also running red and blue Thunderquake. It's just a crazy good Guardian card to have in this meta if you have 2 cards in your hand, or even if you go first, right? If you go first, you can swing hammer at your opponent or swing something at your opponent. And then if you have a Thunderquake in your hand, you can heave it if you have the resources, and just put it in your arsenal, get yourself 3 Seismic Surge tokens and send like 10 or 8 damage at your opponent next turn, maybe with a wager ability. So pretty good. We're also on Wage Gold. This is, again, just a 3 for 7. It only blocks 2, though, so I'm not entirely sure whether or not I love these cards. But it does technically count as a Guardian card, because while in any zone, this is the same class as your hero, so it is still technically a Guardian card. So if you are trying to do something specific with reduction of cost for Seismic Surge tokens, this is also technically a Guardian card. Of course, then, when this attacks a hero, you may wager a gold token with them, so we have that wager on the card already. Same goes with Wage Might. Wage Might does the same thing where you wager a might instead of a gold. Springboard Somersault, as I mentioned, pretty easy stuff. And then all of our blues are just our value blues here. You know, anything that blocks 3 and comes in for a decent amount of block value. Clash of Mights to be able to clash with our opponents. We've got a lot of these Buckling Blows and Choke Slams. We, of course, have Macho Grande because Macho Grande is really good. We are clashing a lot, so revealing this off Clash is going to be pretty okay, too. So that's pretty much all these are here for. Blue block 3s. There's not really a reason why they're in here. And then our inventory is 2 Oasis Respite for Wizards, a Thump in case we're trying to go against a deck that maybe doesn't really want to block, 2 Zealous Belting in case we're going against another Guardian, or maybe even just a hero that prevents a lot of damage. You know, on one big attack, you instead want to make it so that they block multiple different attacks. AB3, you run a lot of blues, very good stuff to have. And then, of course, a Sledge Vandelheim for the Guardian matchups, or really anything you just want to have a casual swing 6 into. So that's the build here. So let's go ahead and take Betsy into the Silver Age Talishar queue and see exactly how she performs. All right, we get to go against an Ira. I definitely think first is the correct thing to do here, just because we're pretty much going to want to set up an arsenal if we can. So we're definitely going to just want to kind of run them out here. I think we could probably play Oasis Respite. I'm thinking Thump Pummel is probably not going to be too bad. I'd rather get rid of this. Probably get rid of a lot of our like wage 2 blocks. That's not bad there, because we're just going to try and last out this game, I would say. Keeping the pummels is good. Removing the reds, keeping the reds. This one blocks for 3. These block for 4. So yeah, I think it's probably going to be pretty good. We're going to be a pretty defensive deck in this one here. Kind of show up exactly what we're doing here. So, all right. Pretty simple stuff here. I think I'm just going to swing Fist. I'll pitch this and this. Swing Fist for 4. I'll put the Disable in my arsenal. I almost kind of want this to be a 3 power blue, like, or a 3 cost blue. Oh, so they're going to play a little defensive too. That's fine. Yeah, I almost want it to be a 3 cost blue just because I do kind of want there to be, what do you call it? I just want there to be a little bit more of a guarantee that whatever's in my arsenal, if I keep a blue, I can send it. Because, for instance, this costs 5, so I have to keep 2 blues to send this out of my of my arsenal pretty much, which is just not good. So one Kadachi. And normally I wouldn't bother with these here, but again, I think we're pretty much just sending Titan's Fist the entire game. So I'm not too worried. I think I will go ahead. As I mentioned, like I can't really send this. This is just going to come in for 3. So we definitely need to just... I think I can take 2. And then Oasis Respite, whatever's coming in next. Interesting. Rushing River for 1. Interesting. Okay. Sure. I wonder if I should take damage here. Well, I guess now I can send this, right? And no other thing here, so I can send 7 at my opponent. I could also just, yeah, you know what? We got to send something, right? Whole bunch of blocks in my hand. I don't feel good about it, but I'm probably going to be stripping some cards from them. They're going to block, they can block 3 with their armor. So they have to block with a 3 block or a 4 block here. They probably have like on the horizon, if I were to guess. Okay, they're blocking 4. They gave me a card, which is fine. I'm fine getting a card from them. And it's a blue, so... All right. Oh, come on now. Come on, Talshar. There we go. And still a lot of reds. You not normally see a lot of these Guardian hands be this prominent in here, but I guess this just be the case right now. So I fear they're going to be pretty patient with a lot of their moves here. So I'd be curious what their next steps are going to be for this. Because we can't really do anything on this one here. They're playing Mask. Naming a card, the next attack action you play this turn gains that name. Interesting. Playing Looking for a Scrap. Crazy Brew was chosen? What the hell are you playing? All right, well, we can just give this and this. I don't like giving armor for this, but I'd much rather make it a good math number. All right, we got a might token, so that's good. And we can technically pitch these into some stuff here. 7. Life of the Party. Now I know this is a joke. I know this is a joke. When it hits, gain 2 life. Interesting. I never would have thought. I mean, it's a one-time trick. You can't do that anymore. You're not running Crazy Brew. Sure, I'll take 1. Well, we lose out on our might token value, but that's fine. We get to put a Wage Might in an arsenal here. I might actually just do this. And then just arsenal card. Yeah, there's our blues. And a thump. Not bad. Not bad to have. Not bad at all. Kadachi. I'll take 1. Yeah, Life of the Party, it's just that's gotta not be the correct thing to do here, right? Like, that doesn't seem like it would be good at all. We can actually Clash of Might here, probably. Yeah. I'll go ahead and get a mite. They have a cut through on top. Now they did have a dagger hit, so they're on cut through, which means that they probably are going to send. Yeah, that makes sense. I might just give you this and this. I could have just given you that, right? But I think what I need to be worried about is snatch, but they don't have like go again on anything. So 6, I lose my hero power. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I have 2 seismic surge tokens. Oh, but this is a guardian card. I guess I still technically lose my hero power. I'd have to block 7 here, which kind of sucks. But I mean, forget it, right? Why not? I'll give you a quicken token. Start your turn. Means we'll wage a might here. So seismic surges are going to pop. Effectively, what I'm going to get to do is I'm going to get to play a wage might. I'm going to get to pitch. I will then wager. So 9 overpower. Again, I think maybe we probably used our armor a little too early. I don't feel like this play is like the best it could possibly be, but we are sending quite a bit of damage at our opponent. They're probably not going to block it if that means they're going to send a lot more at us. We have not seen a single Bittering Thorns, and this seems to be kind of more of a value engine of an Ira, which is kind of just the send small stuff and then be like good to go on that front. So I'd be curious to see what the play is here. Okay, so there is a Bittering Thorns for 4. I will go ahead and just give you 4. Give you another Quicken token. Another Bittering Thorns. That kind of sucks for us, but we could probably just do this. Flash. Huh, we tied. That sucks. Gonna probably send Kadachi, and we're gonna send Titan's Fist. They have another cut through too, so I think they're gonna play another cut through. Yeah, there it is. I don't really care. I want to get value on this might token. Titan's Fist for 5. Okay, so giving me a card. Torn to Tempo. Interesting. There's another Springboard Somersault. Like sometimes you feel the match is going pretty well, and then you're just like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, so they're out of red cut throughs. I doubt they're on blues. I would highly doubt they're on blues, but I could be wrong. Get them lower than us in case they have Scar for a Scar. They're gonna Tiger. Send Tiger for 2. I'll just block 3 here. Pouncing Key for 4. Block 3. Sound the Alarm. Interesting. Sound the Alarm seems very interesting here. What are you gaining a resource for? You're just gaining it to gain it? I mean, you're not going to get go again. This? I guess we have to, right? We're going to try and blow out a lot of the stuff here. Okay. So they're out of armor. but they're still going to be able to send quite a lot at us. We're pretty close to Gadachi lock, unfortunately. So there's a reinforced line. I'll block my headpiece. We don't actually need to do much here. Yep. Block here. And if I can send Crush the Week at them, they have to give me 2 cards, which is pretty good. Take 3, send Crush the Week, have them give me 2 cards pass. I mean, I'm still going to be so close to Kadachi lock. I don't know that it's entirely going to matter, but a lot of their stuff blocks for 2 though, so they might have to give me, well, I mean, they'll still have to give me 2 cards. Oh, reinforce the line. Well, what do you know, huh? That's kind of interesting. Okay. Take 1, I guess. Yeah. This is going to be rough. This. We'll see how much they send at us. 6. A 1 or it gets 5. It is 6. Give this and this. Yeah. Send Titan's Fist. Oh, okay. Well, we both lose. And up sticks and run is not going to be good for me this next turn. I promise you that is not good. We are in a rough spot with that one there. This Kadachi is going to come in for 5. That's a lot. They're still giving me a card. Interesting. I guess they just don't need it. Yep. I'll block 2. I don't want to go to 2. Yep, there's the upsticks. 2 upsticks. Go to 1. Interesting. 2 upsticks and run is not what I expected. All right, so they gotta have a blue in hand. There's no way. Right? Yeah. There it is. Yep. I think we're done with the Kadachi lock here. Unfortunately, Betsy just did not block well enough. I think if I changed the chest piece and this piece to be the civic armor, it probably would have played a little bit better, but unfortunately, I just don't think that happens. So we lose to a war of attrition here with Harmonized Kadachi. It's the other kind of downfall about you'll see, I don't know if you can see, I have 11 cards left in my deck. They have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They have 18 cards. I have 11. Pretty much nothing I can do here in that regard. We can send a block with a thump. I'll give you a test of might. Now they won. That's not good for me. You can send anything with go again. Yeah, that'll do it. So here, and then they get to just send the damage at something else. Send 1 point of value and you win. So why do they end their turn? Why do they close the combat chain? What in the world? Why would they do that? They had lethal. It hit. It hit. They had go again. Don't make no damn sense. All right. So this blocks 2. We're going to have to block out another Kodachi. They had lethal and they didn't do it. Silly. Dumb, actually. We gain life. Yeah. Can't beat Kodachis here. So unfortunately, we are just going to need to wait it out here. Maybe we'll get to keep a card, but nothing crazy here. Let's see. Luster buff for 6, probably, for sure. Yeah. Give you 6. Luster buff is an interesting card to keep in there. I guess they're just playing to their outs, right? They're probably just like, oh, wait a minute. That's so interesting. Nope, they're pitching that. I'm just going to die. I'll just let them have it. Good game. No way I'm going to get around the Kodachi lock here, so. But it was, I mean, the deck kind of runs itself pretty well here. I think it just came down to we didn't see any disruption early enough. Boulder drops didn't really do anything here. And I do think the Gauntlet of Boulder Hold and the two Seismic Surge helped a little bit, but I definitely think it's not going to be the best version of what the deck could be. Because if we're really trying to do heavy fatigue, we're probably running Good Time Chapeau, the Civic Duty, Civic Might, and Civic Steps, just so that way we have like block, 11 on board or whatever, block 12 on board, and then also the shield, so block 15 on board. But I feel like, Ira is just definitely a deck. She's the deck of all time. This was insane, though. I don't know. I cannot genuinely believe that life of the party is a thing that just happened. But I guess it's like whenever you see it, you can just pop your mask and be like, okay, this is definitely going to happen. So, yeah. You may discard or destroy a card you control named Crazy Brew rather than pay life of the party's cost. And then if you do, choose all modes. Otherwise, choose one mode at random. So that's kind of interesting. You play the mask, right? Because the mask gets you pay 1. And then, so you have a blue, right? And then you essentially just get to go attack with whatever, with Go Again, name it Crazy Brew, and then come in with this for 7, Go Again, on hit, gain 2 life. That is not terrible. I gotta say it's not terrible. But overall, I think Betsy played pretty well for what it's worth. Definitely just kind of loses to Kodachi lock, and there's maybe some small things I could have done during the game to make it a bit different. But I think overall the game was not in my favor from the start, just because Ira does kind of just do it better. So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. If you did enjoy today's episode of the Silver Age A to Z series, please make sure to go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. And then, of course, let me know how you think that I could improve upon the Betsy deck. I know Betsy is not really the best Guardian available in the Silver Age format, but she is a Guardian and some people's favorite. So if it's a pet deck of yours, I still like to cover it because I really do enjoy just being able to try new things in the format and see what things are different. And being able to use Good Time Chapeau is always a fun time too. So thank you all so much again for watching. I appreciate you for being here, and I hope you continue to have fun in the flesh and blood. And I will see all of you beautiful Ashwings in the next installment of the Silver Age A to Z series.